Today, 140, batch 140. It's going to be a blueberry with Oregon puree, a blueberry wheat beer, and I haven't come up with a name with it yet, so the wines are sitting here yet. Here's my raspberry still under fermentation after a week and a half, 2 weeks. She's actually still bubbling. Can't wait to get that in a keg. But batch 140, we got the fire on now, and we're ready to dough in. I got some fresh hops, cone hops. I'm going to put right into the mash tun today. They're actually from 2021. 3 ounces we'll be putting in. I got so many hops in the freezer, we got to start using them. So my temperature's up here. We're ready to get our strike water in. All right, we're striking in. All right, we came in with our strike water a little on the high side. Last time I brewed, I had the heat off out here, so the mash tun was cooler. And at 170 degrees into the mash tun, she cooled down with the grains to the temperature I was looking for a mash. She's cooling now, but I'm at 160 to 164 or so. So that's going to be a little too warm for the grains right now. So what I'm going to do is put in these frozen hops. This package will expand once I open it up. These are 20 from 2021. Harvest. Boy, these scissors are dull. See? They are dull as can be, almost. Huh. So we'll throw these hops in here to help cool it down. This is part of the recipe anyway. Oh, they smell delicious. So you'll get the aromas in that off of these here. And the alpha acids, they won't get those off of here because you get that when you boil it. And this is not boiling. This is 3 ounces of Cascade hops. We put right into the mash. Why wouldn't I? I thought of changing my name at a channel to the Gray T-shirt Brewer. Why wouldn't I? It's like I'm always in a gray T-shirt out here. So we're stir these hops in here. I can see the temperature drop a couple degrees already. And the grains are, of course, are chilly, so they're going to drop the temperature even more. So we'll be ready to dough in here in a second or two. So we're just going to give that a few seconds till they dissolve or till they unfreeze. And then we'll be dumping our grain in here for a beautiful blueberry beer. We'll be using WB06 wheat yeast today. I haven't used that in a while. Don't know if I'll be sparging. We might sparge, we might not. And we're hoping to come in at about 5% on this beer. Nothing crazy. So we'll see how that goes. All right, here we go in with our lovely blueberry beer. And we'll check our temperature as we go. Oh, I'm not going to gauge now. So here we are doughed in, and our temperature is spot on. 152.0, 152.2. So we're right on here, 152. These gauges are accurate. Beautiful mashing temperature. I'm very happy with that. I was shooting for 153, 152 to 155. That's right in the range I want to be. I like that. I like it when a plan comes together. So let's get a cover on here, and we'll mash this for, like I said, 1 hour. We're doing our sit-down Orloff here. Of course, it's clean as a whistle. I even know why I do it. This mash tun works so good. This isn't even necessary. It's running clear as a whistle. Clear as a... Clear as a... Why I'm recording this. I'm going to pour this back in. And we're going right to the boil kettle. Here's a color. Once the blueberry gets in, she'll darken up a little bit more. But I don't really care for it to be super dark. I just want it to be good. Oh, there's a brew kettle. Will we sparge? We might sparge a little, we'll see. Valves are closed. You got a nice smell to it for sure.
Yes, it does. Very caramelly, but malty. It smells good.
Oh, sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. We'll get a reading for at the end here, what's coming out at the end. And then we'll do a sparge probably. Get the rest of our sugars if I get my volume I'm looking for. Always looking for about 7.5 before I start boiling. And I can boil off 1.5 to 2 gallons of this kettle in an hour depending on my flame setting. And she goes through, she puts the wort into the steam mode when she's boiling. All right, we're sparging the rest of the sugars off of this at 174 degree water, 174, 175. Been treated with metabisulfate and lowered the pH. We're gonna get a reading of what we're getting out of here yet. But she was pumping out some good sugars. So a little behind the scenes of, I usually clear my thing with a bowl and take the grains out of the mashed uneasy. But this time it's loaded with hops. So I'm just gonna dump it right into this garbage can here like that. And you can't ask for better. I just flame on. I just put the kettle on flame, so she's starting to boil. We're waiting for the boil to get going. Okay, we're waiting for the hot break. Like I say, I don't use any foaming agents, and I might have to stir this or turn it down. She has overflowed the basket. It's on a vigorous boil. I better get ready on the, turn the flame off if I have to. She's really coming up here. And it's a wheat beer, so we're probably going to get a lot more proteins and a little bit longer on the hot break. But she will break very shortly. You see the foam?
I see the foam.
Class, you see the foam. This foam is detergent. Next question. Yes, we use fresh water here on all our brews. Hang on. We're still waiting for the hot break. We have a question in the back. Am I hearing it right? That you want to use hops? Yeah, we use hops in our beer also. In fact, I grow some of my own outside. And the other guy? That's correct. It is not a vine, it's a vine with a B. Any other questions? Yes, we're using blueberry puree from the Oregon Company in this brew today. And it's a blueberry, we used to call it a blueberry bastard. But this, we haven't even come up with a name with it. We can call it Blueberry Bastard 4. Or we'll come up with a different name. There goes the hot break. You see everything falling in, all the proteins. We got another question in the back. Have I always looked this good? Thank you for that question. Yes, I have. My mother used to give me kisses before I went to bed. I said went to bed, not wet.
Stop it. Get some help.
So there goes the hot break. We're going to get our first edition of Willamette hops. Another question? 1 ounce. The answer is 1 ounce. And you got to be careful when you put them in. You're going to get another reaction. It might want to foam up on you. So here we go. 1 ounce into the basket. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll show you what that looks like closer. For those in the back, you can look on the big screen. You can see it back there? All right. See the green colors down in here? That's your hop oils, your lupulins coming out of your hop pellets. That's exactly what that is. So we can take a break here, people. We can go get lunch, and we can let this boil out, and we're going to set a timer for 45 minutes. I know that's the question you were going to ask me back there, Carl.
Set a timer, 45 minutes.
So 45 minutes, we'll put our next edition of hops in. All right, we're back from lunch, and I can see a few of you guys back in the back there had a liquid lunch. How you doing? Yeah, exactly. Well, I got another question. What? I had a beer also. Yes, I did. Okay. Next. Oh yeah. Yes, I do. I have forgotten many a times. The question was, did I forget anything during brewing? At times, I most certainly have. So what I do now is I bring all my stuff out for the last part of the boil. The last 15 minutes, I got my hops set up so I don't forget. I got my yeast energizer set up so I don't forget. I got my Irish moss set up so I don't forget. And I have my gloves to put on after I get burnt. That's how that normally goes. And as you get older, you might get a little Alzheimer's. That comes in. I've learned these little tricks to set everything out from my mother, who did have Alzheimer's. So that's the way it works here. So we got everything ready that we're aware of. Flame out, my fermenter's ready. I got to get the wort chiller in. Of course, that's not ready. So have I forgotten anything? You're a wise ass back there. Yeah, good luck on your first brew. I'm not going to put the camera down on the big screen. I put in an ounce of Citra hops. They're in. Now I'll get my measuring spoon out here. I'll put in a good lump of yeast energizer. The last 15 minutes here we're at. A good spoonful of that. Kick off all the fermentations, lovely fermentations that are bound to happen eventually. And last but not least, we want a good capful of Irish moss. It's like yes, it does. It's a clarifier. It's a clarifier for the beer we put in the last 15 minutes. It's like a Warfleck tablet. That's Irish moss on steroids. It's all compacted. I prefer the Irish moss. It seems to be a little bit cheaper. You can use whatever you want. You can keep on hand what you want. It's not going to go bad. So last 15 minutes here, I got my wort chiller in. I'm going to move it into position.
Set a timer, 15 minutes.
We're going to set the wort chiller into position and have it set up to turn on. Can you see back there? Well, if you can step forward, just there's nothing to see here. Flame out. It's heavy. And in she goes. And she's on. I'm gonna have to fix. Don't walk in front of it. Don't walk in front of that. In case that hose blows out. And you did anyway. You see how she walked in front of the wort chiller? Now, if that hose would have blown off, you can get scalded. So I recommend to all my students we refrain from doing that. All right, we're going to start the drain into the fermenter, and then I'm going to pull my wort chiller out and go wash that down as this goes in slowly. Okay. Here goes the Oregon puree. It's going to go in. She's on her way, Houston. Look at the color of that, how dark it is.
Mr. Tony, what flavor is that?
It's blueberry. Blueberry puree. Doesn't want to get a sip of that. Yeah, Oregon. Dude, I prefer the cans. It's just hard to work with. Oh, wow. Tasty, tasty. So we'll get our last of our wort in here. And then we'll get our yeast. Oh, blueberry, blueberry, blueberry. And color's changing right there. Pulling out some trouble. Now our yeast today is going to be, I might have said this already, WB06. It is a wheat yeast. So we're going to sprinkle that into our lovely wort. We are done. Just got to clean the kettle and whatnot. So now we got a raspberry and a blueberry. And the raspberry's ready to go to the keg here in a day or two. She's still getting a little fermentation. We're going to let her go. All right, after 14 days in the fermenter, down here, the camera's seeing that, we're about to get our sample to see how she finished. It's 14 days, done. This is the blueberry bullshit. And the name is self-explanatory, you know, when you watch the video. How you doing? So we're going to get a sample here. You pull your bubbler out so you don't get a bad suck. And I'll probably get a whole full thing of puree here again. If I do, then I'll throw the sample out and get another sample. Well, don't look too bad. And there she is. There's the color. She's, well, it's a blueberry bullshit. So we'll see how this finished because my eyes can't see that far up. 10:45, and it finished at 1.006. That equals out to be 5.11% ABV. Not too shabby. So we'll be going to keg here shortly, but I want to get a little taste on this. So you can, the camera's not to get that hydrometer, but up close it's 1.006. Let's get a little taste on that. Oh boy, first thing you smell is, it's one long video. First thing you smell is blueberry. Can't wait till it's carved up. Let's get it in the keg. Again, make sure your bubbler is out. And off to the keg we go. So we're not going to record all this. We'll get this in the kegerator and then on to the taste test. All right, the blueberry beer is done. By now you know the name. Blueberry bullshit. You figured that out. So here's the head on it. So poured a 2-finger head in the beginning as she's fading down a little to a single head. So the blueberry bullshit, this was batch 140. It was made with, I got my sheet in front of me too. That's kind of crazy for the first time ever. We'll set the beer down and we'll just do a recap on 5 pounds of German Munich, 4 pounds of 2-row, 1 pound of German Munich, a little Crystal 40, little Carapils, almost a little over 11 pounds of grain, and Citra hops and Willamette. Willamette on the first and Citra at the last stage. So let's get a smell on it. I've been waiting for this for a while. She got done. Oh wow. Smells creamy.
I don't really smell a lot of blueberry, but I definitely get the malts, Hirschbrucker coming through, and the Wilma.
There's no Hirschbrucker. You messed that up.
Or whichever malt that was. What did we
Oh
put
wow,
in
the
your head?
smell. On the hops, it's Willamette and citrus.
No, the malt.
German Munich
German Munich, that's all.
and wheat. And German wheat. So it smells creamy. Here's the color. A little blueberry-ish, a little red. I'm just going to shine the light through it if that's going to show up or not. This video is already long enough. It's actually a brownish, murkyish color. A little reddish tint to it. So, on with the taste test. I've kept you long enough here. Right on my mustache. Oh, wow. Very pleasant.
It's a very good beer, but the blueberry gets lost.
Yeah, the blueberries, it's present, but it's not strong. It's a little fruity, but not strong present at all.
But it's got a really nice flavor. Rich body.
I'm liking it. Definitely liking it. Ice cold too. We're at 34 degrees, or I should have a gauge to stick in there. It's almost to the freezing point.
It's got a decent head. Good mouthfeel. It's a good beer.
The head faded quick though. The lacing seems to be spot on. We're only 10 days in the carbonation as it sat into the cooler in the kegerator. I can see some slight bubbles carbonating up. So I think she's carbonated, but mouth feels very good. Very good. Right up front, she's got a little bitterness, and at the end, it mellows out into almost a creamy taste.
Well, there's the wheat.
A slight blueberry, and well, it's a lot of wheat in there. There's 5 pounds of wheat. That's why it's a wheat beer. How you doing? If I didn't
But
say
it's
that
not
already.
bready.
No, not as bready as you would think. Not a lot of malt. I mean, the wheat's there. The wheat taste is there. A little banana, a little clovey taste. That's probably from the yeast, which was a WB06. I don't even have to look at the sheet. I like that as my wheat yeast. That releases a little esters of cloviness and bubble gum almost, but not that much. So that's long enough video as it is. Proust.
Proust.
We're gonna finish this one, maybe have another one. You know, you just pour the first one from the keg. She's a little rough.
Proust.
And the wife don't want to be on camera here. She's not feeling too good. She's feeling better once she tasted this beer, though.
Yeah, the zombie yelling.
Very good. Until next time, Proust. Stay safe out there.